Time Walk with Me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Time Walk with me. Today we are opening up this guy right here, this Modern Horizons 3 Commander deck. I chose the Creative Energy deck. I was only going to get one, and yeah, the obvious expensive deck looked like it was going to be the Eldrazi one, but I wanted the Energy one because I kind of like Energy. Energy is cool. I got the Energy Fallout deck, so I figured I would, if I really wanted to, I could combine them. So here we go. Here's the unboxing. Of course, we're gonna open up the bonus pack. We got the counters here, or tokens, whatever. We got the deck itself right here. Maybe I'll zoom in a little more. Whoop, wrong way. There we go. What's this? So this is nothing. And here we have, there's the bonus pack. And here's the box. Let's build the box. Schloop. Oh, and there is the life counter. Not very elaborate, but whatever. We got ourselves a box. Ta-da! Modern Horizons 3 box. Okay, let's open this up first. I was going to save it to the end, but we're going to open it up now because I want to see what I'm getting right now. We got White of the Reliquary. It is a 2/2 with Vigilance for 2 mana. Gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard, so you're going to be wanting to put a lot of creatures in your graveyard. Tap and sacrifice another creature. Oh, it's got its own sack outlet. Search your library for a land, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Oh, that's nice. That sounds good. Okay. The lighting on this might not be the best. Maybe I can fix that a little bit. There we go. That'll work. Okay. And Monstrous Vortex. Oh, is that even a rare? Kind of looks like it might be an uncommon. Whenever you cast a creature or spell with power 5 or greater, discover X, where X is that spell's mana value. That might be worth something. Look at that. Look at the shine on that. Pretty cool. Okay. Now to look at the deck itself. So, it's a little hard for me to read with all this glare from the light I'm using, so I'll open it up. Get rid of this plastic. And then we'll look at the cards. We've got Satya Aetherflux Genius. I've seen some gameplay videos of using this deck, so I've been a little bit spoiled. 3/5 Menace Haste for 4 mana. And when he attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of up to 1. Up to 1, so 1 or 0. Other target non-token creature you control. Then you get 2 energy. At the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice that token unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value. So if you have a lot of energy and you can afford to keep up a whole bunch of tokens, copies of things, then you can do that. Or you can just let them go if you really don't feel like having them around all the time. And then we have Kaith, Famed Mechanist. She is a 3/3 for 4 mana, legendary dwarf artificer. Fabricate 1, so when she enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on it, or create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. And other non-token creatures you control have Fabricate 1, and you can pay 2 of any to tap it to populate or proliferate. That's kind of cool, actually. Not sure which one of those would be better. Jolted Awake. I don't know if I want to go through each and every card and read them because commons are commons, but let's see. This one gives you 2 energy. Choose up to 1 artifact or creature in your graveyard. You get 2 energy. Then you can pay. Okay. Then you can pay energy to do a thing. This is Bespoke Battle Wagon. You can tap it to get 2 energy. That sounds good. Or you can pay 2 energy to tap a creature. Tap it, pay 3 energy to draw a card. Or pay 4 energy and it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn and crew 4. So that's pretty cool. Landfall. It's a royal cartographer. Not royal, but royal. Royal. I'm not sure how to pronounce that differently from royal, but it's a different word, I promise you. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy counter. Nice. Tap it, pay 6 energy, draw 3 cards. So that's pretty cool. That could be useful. Unstable Amulet. Well, it's an artifact, of course. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Tap it, pay 2 energy. Exile the top card of your library. You can play it until you exile another card. Oh, that's nice. So even if Unstable Amulet goes away, you can still keep playing that. 2/1 first strike, Amped Raptor. I think I got one of these in a pack. So, yeah, gives you 2 energy tokens when it enters the battlefield. Then you can do stuff with that energy. Solar Transformer. Enters the battlefield tapped. You get 3 energy when it enters the battlefield. Tap it for a colorless. Tap it, pay an energy, 1 mana of any color. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a 2 mana thing. It enters the battlefield tapped, but it taps for half what it costs to bring out, so that's good. Scurry of Gremlins. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 red gremlin creature tokens. Then you get an amount of energy equal to the number of creatures you control. Well, that could be a lot of energy, maybe. And pay 4 energy. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. Neato. Not like the neatest thing ever, but still pretty neato. Is it Generatorium? Generatorium. A generator, basically. If you would get 1 or more energy counters, you get that many +1 instead. Nice. Tap, draw a card, activate only if you've paid or lost 4 or more energy this turn. Well, that's cool. So it doesn't cost you energy, it's just sort of a fringe benefit of getting a lot of energy. And it helps you get that much energy, too. Sphinx of the Revelation. 4/5 flying lifelink. Whenever you gain life, you get that many energy counters. That's good if it's in a life gain and energy deck. I don't know. Let's see. 1 white, 2 blue. Tap, pay X energy, draw X cards. That could be good. Talisman of Conviction. Red or white. Tezzeret's Gambit. Draw 2 cards, then proliferate. And when you proliferate, you get more energy. So, that's good. Is it Boilerworks? Yeah. Azorius Chancery? Yeah, good. I like those. I know they're a little slow, but I still like them. And you can't do anything about it. Talisman of Progress. Command Tower, obviously. Burnished Heart? Good. Arcane Signet, of course. Soul Ring. Era of Innovation. Enchantment. Whenever an artifact or artificer enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, you get 2 energy. Nice. Pay 6 energy, sacrifice Era of Innovation, draw 3 cards. Pretty neat. Filigree Racer. 5/5. When it enters the battlefield, you get 4 energy tokens. Counters. Whatever. When he attacks, you can pay 2 energy. When you do, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains Jumpstart. Now, I'm not sure what Jumpstart is until end of turn. You can cast that card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other cost, then exile it. Okay. That's cool. Good stuff. Localized, we're in the rares now, so that's good. Localized Destruction. You get an energy counter, then you may pay 1 or more energy. If you do, each creature you control with power equal to the amount of energy paid this way gains indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all creatures. Nice. So, you pay energy equal to the highest power among creatures you control, and then all your creatures will get indestructible, and then you destroy all creatures except for your own. So, it's a board wipe with one-sidedness built in. Not bad. We got Ether Refinery. If you would get 1 or more energy, you get twice that many instead. That's pretty cool. Tap, you get an energy, or 2 energy, really, because of the top effect. Then you may pay 1 or more energy. If you do, create an XX black Aetherborn creature token, where X is the amount of energy paid this way. That's cool. It could be scary. I mean, at the very least, you're going to tap it and gain 2 energy, and then pay that 2 energy to make a 2/2 token. So it's tap to create a 2/2 token. That's pretty great. And it'll be even bigger than that. Alright, Hourglass of the Lost. Tap to add a white. Put a time counter on our Hourglass of the Lost. I can't talk tonight. It's late. Whoops. Never mind that. You didn't see that. Spoiler. Remove X tap and remove X counters from Hourglass of the Lost and exile it. Return each non-land permanent card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield. Each non-land permanent card with mana value X. So that could be 0 if you have a lot of 0 casting cost things in your graveyard. That's the word I'm looking for. And activate only as a sorcery. Cool. Salvation Colossus. This is the big guy. 9/9 for 8 mana. Flying Vigilance Trample, so a bit of a bargain there for such a big creature. Whenever you attack, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain indestructible until end of turn. It's pretty good. It doesn't give itself indestructible, only your other creatures. That's cool. Unearth, pay 8. Pay 8 energy counters. That's what I mean. Pay 8 energy. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. Or if it would leave the battlefield, unearth only as a sorcery. That's cool, so you can sort of surprise bring it back for a turn. But then it's exiled forever. Okay, Blaster Hulk. 8 mana for an 8/8. Costs 1 less to cast for each energy you've paid or lost this turn. Okay. So you don't have to pay it for this. So you've paid energy to do something else, to get a different benefit, and then you get a benefit from this. That's cool. Okay, haste. Whenever it attacks, you get 2 energy. Then you may pay 8 energy. So you only have to have 6 energy to do this to start with. When you do, he deals 8 damage divided as you choose among up to 8 targets. Oh, cool. So you can do that right to someone's face and kill them. Razorfield Ripper. 3/3 Equipment Rhino. When Ripper or equipped creature attacks, you get an energy counter. Then you get plus X until end of turn, where X is the amount of energy that you have. Oh, that's interesting. So you don't have to pay the energy, it just looks at it. And reconfigure, pay 2 or 3 energy. That's pretty good. Silver Quill Lecturer. 3/3 creature spells you cast have demonstrate. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may copy it. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. Each copy becomes a token. Okay. So that's kind of a political card. That's pretty cool. Overclocked Electromancer. 2/2 Lizard Warrior for 3 mana. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay 3 energy. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Overclocked Electromancer. Whenever Overclocked Electromancer attacks, double its power until end of turn. So a little bit like Double Strike, but not exactly. And let's see, when it deals combat damage to a creature, if that creature was dealt excess damage this turn, you get X energy, where X is the excess damage. Oh, pretty cool. So the bigger he is, the more energy he gives you, potentially. Stone Idol Generator. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you get an energy counter. So if you attack with 2 or 3, you get 2 or 3 energy. Pretty good. Tap, pay 6, create a 6/12 colorless construct artifact creature token with trample. Golly gee. Activate only as a sorcery. And from what I've seen, energy is pretty easy to come by in this deck, so that's pretty cool. Aurora Shifter. 1/3 for 2 mana. It's a shapeshifter. I'm thinking about making a shapeshifter deck, so that's cool. When it deals combat damage to a player, you get that many energy. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay 2 energy. When you do, Aurora Shifter becomes a copy of another target creature you control, except it has this ability, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you get that many energy. Oh, that's cool. So copy your big 9/9 guy, and he will give you masses of energy. Conversion Apparatus. So for 3 mana, you can tap to get a colorless mana. 3 of any tap, you get 3 energy. Tap and pay 3 energy, add 3 mana of any combination of colors. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Gonti's Aether Heart. Legendary artifact. Costs 6 mana. It's the mythic there. Let's see. When he or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you get 2 energy counters. That's cool. Pay 8 energy. Exile Gonti's Aether Heart. Take an extra turn after this one. Okay. That's cool. So you could actually possibly get that extra turn as soon as you play this. 6 mana is about the going rate for an extra turn. Lightning Runner. 3 of any 2 red for a 2/2 with haste and double strike. Whenever he attacks, you get 2 energy. Then you can pay 8 energy. If you pay, untap all creatures you control, and then you get another combat phase. So that's cool. Pretty cool. Aethertide Whale. 6/4, flying. When he enters the battlefield, you get 6 energy. And you pay 4 energy to return it to its owner's hand. Aether Geode Miner. A lot of Aether things, or Ether. I guess I'm going to say Aether. Whoop. Never mind that. When he attacks, you get 2 energy, pay 2 energy, exile it, and then return it to the battlefield. Oh, that's cool. So very hard to deal with. Aether Sphere Harvester. 3/5 flying. Crew 1, so very easy to crew. 3 mana. Pay an energy, gains lifelink until end of turn. Well, that's cool. Bident of Thassa. Whenever a creature, I think this is a reprint, so that's fun. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you can draw a card. And creatures your opponents control attack this turn of Fable. Temple of Enlightenment. So it's a scry land. That's cool. Battlefield Forge. This one hurts you when you tap it. Mirror Battlesphere. Oh, that's a fun one. 4/7. When it enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature tokens. And whenever the Battlesphere attacks, you can tap X, untapped mirror you control, and then it gets X plus 0 until end of turn, and deals X damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Pretty cool. Grenzo, Havoc Racer. I think looking at Havoc made me think Gravo. But Grenzo, Havoc Racer. He's a goblin rogue for 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, choose one, go target creature that player controls, or exile the top card of that player's library. Then you can cast that turn until the end of turn. Cast that spell, that card, and you can spend mana, or mana. Okay, so you can cast your opponent's spells, but you still have to pay for them, unfortunately. Bruticlad Telcor Engineer. Another mythic. 4/4 Phyrexian Artificer. Creature tokens you control have haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue Phyrexian Mirror artifact creature token. Then you can choose a token you control. If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token. Well, if you have a good token out, that could be very handy. Coveted Jewel. Oh, that's a fun one. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. Costs 6 mana, but it taps for 3. And whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls attack you and aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards and gains control of Coveted Jewel and untap it. So I only put that into decks where I'm going to be very aggressive. Goldspan Dragon, 4/4 flying haste. I think this is the big reprint of this deck. Whenever he attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. So you can target him yourself and get some treasure. That's good. Treasures you control can sacrifice for 2 mana of any color instead of 1. Oh, that's pretty good. Legion Loyalty. Creatures you control have Myriad. That's really good. I think I have this in a different deck. Really good for creatures with ETBs, like the many ETB creatures in this that give you energy. That's cool. Mystic Gate. Tap for a colorless. Yeah, You know what that does. Akroma's Will. Oh, here's another one of the big cards in this deck. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast the spell, you can choose both, and all your creatures get all the abilities. Basically, Flying, Vigilance, Double Strike, Lifelink, Indestructible, Protection from each color till end of turn. It should be plenty of time for you to do some damage. Adarkar Wastes, Shivan Reef, yeah. Coalition Relic, tap for a mana of any color, tap to put a charge counter on it. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, remove all charge counters from it. Add 1 mana of any color for each charge counter removed this way. That's cool. Combustible Gearhulk. I think this one is a mass destruction spell. 6/6 for a strike. When he enters the battlefield, target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If the player doesn't, you mill 3 cards. Okay, it's not the card I was thinking of. Whatever. You mill 3 cards, then Combustible Gearhulk deals damage to that player equal to the total mana value of those cards. That could end up doing a lot of damage or completely whiffing. Let's see. Aetherworks Marvel. Whenever a permanent you control is put into a graveyard, you get an energy counter. Tap, pay 6 energy, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You can cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on bottom of your library in a random order. Oh, that's awesome. Especially for costing only 4 mana. It's pretty good. Angel of Invention. 2/1 Flying, Vigilance, Lifelink for 5 mana. Fabricate 2. When this creature enters the battlefield, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. So, okay, so it could be a 4/3 for 5. That's pretty good, actually. Or you get 2 1/1 colorless servos. And other creatures you control get +1/+1. So those servo artifact creature tokens will end up being 2/2s while this is out. So that could be good. Confiscation Coup. That keeps happening. Choose target artifact or creature. You get 4 energy. Then you can pay an amount of energy equal to the permanent's mana value. If you do, gain control of it. Oh, that's cool. Aetherstorm Rock. 3/3 Flying for 4 mana. It's a good rate. Whenever he or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy. So for 4 mana, you get a 3/3 Flying plus an energy. And whenever he attacks, you can pay 2 energy. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and tap up to 1 target creature defending player controls. So it can just keep getting bigger and bigger. That's pretty good. Aether Squall Ancient. 6/6 Flying for 7 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get 3 energy. That's not bad. Pay 8 energy, return all other creatures to their owner's hands. Activate only as a sorcery. Very nice. That's pretty cool. Frostboil Snarl. I like the snarls. You when they enter the battlefield, you can reveal, one of whatever color basic lands, and it comes into play untapped then. Austere Command. That's pretty good. Choose 2. Destroy all artifacts, enchantments, creatures with mana value 3 or less, creatures with mana value 4 or greater. Pretty good. Fury Calm Snarl. Okay, another Snarl, but with red and white. Pretty good. Midnight Clock. This is a fun one. I like this card. It eventually lets you shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards. Only you, too. A lot of the cards that do this kind of effect do it to everybody. They're symmetrical, but this one is not. So that's fun. Professional Facebreaker. 2/3 Menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library. You can play that card this turn. Nice. Impulse Draw. That's what that's called. Farewell. This is one of the best board wipes. Choose 1 or more. So you have to choose at least 1, but you can choose all of them. You can choose all but one of them. Whatever you want to do. And it's exile. Exile all artifacts, exile all creatures, enchantments, or graveyards. Or graveyards. You could do it all. Port Town. This is like the Snarls, but it's not a Snarl, it's a Port Town. Temple of Triumph. Yeah, Scryland. Solemn Simulacrum. Sad Robot. Gotta have that guy in there. Good in any deck, pretty much. Temple of Epiphany. Scryland. Prairie Stream, so it's an island plains. And if you play it late enough in the game, it comes into play untapped. So that's Pretty good. Skyclave Apparition. 2/2 for 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with mana value 4 or less. When he leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the mana value of the exiled card. Now that's cool. So you don't get the card back, but you get something back. So if you do this, with mana value 4 or less. So if you do it on a creature that has like 0 mana value or 1, they don't get a good deal. Castle Vantress, I like this one. You scry. It's a little expensive on the mana to do the scry, but it's still pretty good. Aether Hub, when it enters the battlefield, get an energy. And very simple, tap for a colorless or tap pay an energy, mana of any color. Pretty cool. Decoction Module. I think I actually ordered one of these separately for a deck recently. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy counter. And 4 of any, tap, return target creature you control to its owner's hand. So you can get those ETBs some more. Scry 2, a Glimmer of Genius. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards, you get 2 energy. Pretty good, basic card. I think we're done with the rares. Whirler Virtuoso, 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy. Pay 3 energy, get a Thopter. Pretty good. Talisman of Creativity. Swords to Plowshares. Good old reliable Swords to Plowshares. Good stuff. Wayfarer's Bauble. 2 of any, tap it, sacrifice it, get a basic land onto the battlefield tapped. Pretty good. Demolition Field. Tap it for a colorless or sacrifice it. Destroy a target non-basic land an opponent controls. That land's controller looks for a basic land, puts it on the battlefield tapped, and then you get to do that too. So that's pretty good. Nah, never mind. Whatever. Mystic Monastery. Taps for a red, white, or blue. Pretty good. And then it looks like we have basic lands. And then we have the fancy schmancy Satya Aetherflux Genius. And then we have tokens. So that's it. That is creative energy plus these guys here. Well, that one's nothing. Plus these guys here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed that. I sure did. And I will catch you next time.